First off, let's talk about what the form is. Okay, now it's expressed as y2 minus the y1 is equal to the slope times the x2 minus the x1. Okay? So make sure you have that written down. That's how point slope form is expressed. Why do you think it's called point slope form?
Find the point where the slope is, or like where you're slope.
Well, remember the form we talked with that we have been talking about is slope-intercept form. Why was it called slope-intercept form?
But you found the point where the intersection.
Because it had a slope included and it also had the intercept, the y-intercept. Now for this one, it's just point slope form.
Find the points of
So you're heading towards it, Rob. The only thing is, that common sense tells me, okay, I'll have a slope, which is the m. And what else do I have? Well, I have points. Hence the name point slope form.
your x and y pretty much.
Yeah, your x2 minus your x1 and the y2 minus the y1, that's just 2 points. And then you also have a slope. So let's say, now typically they're only going to give you 1 point, which is okay. So let's say we have a point of 3, 5, and a slope of, I don't know, -3. Okay. Let's say I want to put this in point slope form. Well, you really don't have to simplify it. The only thing you would have to do is just plug in your x and your y. Okay, so that's my x and that's my y. So whenever I go to plug this into the form, point slope form, you can just plug that 5 in for the y2 minus, you don't know the other y, is equal to, what's my slope? Well, it's -3. What's one of my x values? I know it's going to be 3, and I don't know the other one. So that would be considered putting it in point slope form. Okay? That also. So all we're doing is plugging in the x and the y's. We're plugging in the slope. Okay? So my x value is -3, and I don't know the other one. Okay, so I just want to make you aware that you can see that second one just as that negative value. That means the exact same thing. Okay?
That's the same thing in front of like the x in a problem. It's
Yeah.
pretty much a 1.
Yep. So we plugged in our y, we plugged in our x, plugged in our slope for the first one, plugged in our y, plugged in our x, plugged in our slope for the second one. Point slope form. Has a point, and you know the slope also.
Well, we got y2, y1. Would you like make your letters or numbers plugged in?
Well, let's think about this. Okay? We can't just remember slope-intercept form. We need another y-intercept.
Well, couldn't you,
Okay.
couldn't you just put that into it, and then it'd be kind of put the 1 in front of it, and the y1, y1.
No. You can. We can solve this for y. That is one thing we can do.
That's x.
So let's try that out. Let's multiply this out. So 4 times the 1 is going to give me 4. 4 times the x, or I'm sorry, the negative x is going to give me a -4x. Now I'm just going to drop those parentheses on the left side because nothing's going on over there besides 3 minus the y. Okay? Now, remember, if I want to put this in slope-intercept form, I need y equals. So I need to get everything over here. I need to get rid of this 3. I need to get rid of this minus also. Well, the first thing we can get rid of is the 3. That's a positive 3, so let's minus 3 from both sides.
4.
Okay?
Y y equals.
So that's gone over there. We have a negative y. We have a 4 minus a 4x. We have a minus 3 also.
I thought you minus the 3 from the 4.
Yeah, so you can't minus the 3 from the 4x. Our only option is minus the 3 from the 4. Okay, so you could have already have done that. That's okay, or you can, right as I did right there, and then take the 4 minus the 3. Okay, so the only thing we can do is the 4 minus that 3. Okay, that's the only like terms that we have. Okay, or you could have just done it here. So 4 minus 3. Okay.
Negative 1 minus negative 4x.
So it's going to give me really just 1. Okay?
Oh, it's a negative 4x, ain't it?
Yep, minus 4x. So 4 minus 3 is going to give me 1. Then we have a minus 4x. Okay, so last thing we have to do is take care of this negative y. Let's divide both sides by negative 1. Okay? Now all I'm going to have left is y equals negative 1 plus 4x. Now what's wrong with that if I want this in slope-intercept form? Yeah, they're backwards. So just flip them. That's a positive 4x, so keep it a positive 4x. That's a minus 1. Keep it a minus 1. So really this becomes y equals positive 4x and a minus 1. Okay? So what we just did there is we went from point-slope form to slope-intercept form. Okay?
So you just flip it pretty much.
Yeah, you're flipping it around. Oh, that last step, yeah, just flip that around. So your answer is going to be that positive 4x minus 1. Okay? Now I want you to check your answer. I'm going to work this out real quick. Okay? So, first thing you have to do is distribute through negative 7. Okay? Multiply negative 7 times everything. So we get a negative 7x minus 7.
When I did it from there, I thought that, like, well, I'm plus 7, but
Last thing we have to do, remember, all this revolves around getting in slope-intercept form. We need to get the y by itself. That's a positive 1. Let's go over here. Let's minus 1 from both sides. Okay? And we're left with a negative 7x minus 8. Okay? So what's the y-intercept